goodness, I think I have a signal. I don't know who can hear this. I don't know anymore. Man, I hope this is working. Kentucky and Florida just went dark. I haven't heard anything from Milwaukee in days. All I know is I don't have much time to get this out. He's always watching. He's tracking this stream. I know it. I've encrypted it as much as I possibly can, but I may only get a few minutes. Please, for those who are still with us, keep fighting. Keep pressing on. Never give up. Never surrender. Because as long as we do, we can make fantasy football great again. Welcome to Chuck and Dave's Underground Pod.
I'm Chuck.
I'm Dave. And this is the pod, always and forever sponsored by Freedom.
Sweet Freedom.
Yes.
We tasted not too long ago.
Yes.
Chuck. If only Kara would have tanked last year, we could have prevented this.
If only. So for those people that are new to this or just tuning in or from around the globe or wherever freedom fighters may lie,
welcome to the resistance.
Welcome. Chuck, how did we get here? How
you don't see it when it starts.
How did this happen?
When Kara decided that even though her year was over, there was nothing to play for, she started everybody. Beat me in week 14 last year, which allowed Alex the top seed, and he was able to just crush his way through the playoffs last year.
Yes. That's I almost look back and go, what if Alex had lost, or what if Kara would have maybe not played as hard? I mean, it was so insurmountable. She was in last place and somehow beat you, and you were like second seed, and
it wasn't going to happen. And then
I have no idea. The projections were crazy,
and we had no clue. We had no clue what was lying behind those innocent-looking eyes of Alex.
Well, yeah, I mean, all this happened because, and then Alex won last year, which is great. Like, you know, you always want the new guy to win, but we didn't know that the crushing defeat that Josh would take would cause him to basically give up his commissionership.
It was a butt kicking. At the time, we thought it was hilarious.
Yeah, but I mean, if only we would have known. I mean,
the horrors.
And it almost seemed like we kind of wanted Alex to take control, but
certainly
didn't seem like it was going to get all crazy. But
certainly Todd and Sam fell first.
Yeah, obviously they threw their support behind Alex, and it was just so. I mean, I can't even fathom what happened next, and just him completely taking control of the league, making it so that we couldn't even draft our players.
No, he took the first 2 picks.
Yeah.
In order for a more peaceful and secure
transition of power. Yes. Yeah. Strength through peace through strength was his motto, and
he's walking loudly and carrying a big stick.
Yeah. It's
been a rough year.
Yeah.
It's been a rough year for fantasy. Who would have thought Alex is 10-0 and every single one of us is 0-10.
0-10.
I
Yeah,
don't even. It's not even possible, but we're all 0-10.
we're all 0-10. I
Except
mean,
Sam. That one week,
Sam won that 1 week, and no one's heard from him ever since.
his team's just been on auto. It's been the same lineup for the last 3 weeks.
Yeah,
Who knows what happened there?
yeah.
But I certainly won't be starting any good players for the rest of the year.
I mean, if Todd almost beat him in week 5.
Good thing he started Kittle.
But Kittle, my goodness,
Praise
what
his
a
name.
beast! Like,
who would have thought that we are all now mandated to have a photograph of Kittle in a prominent area in our houses?
yeah.
I would not have seen
Praise
that coming.
be.
Praise be to Kittle.
Yeah.
It's dark times. I don't know where we go from here. I'd welcome Garrett back at this point.
Yeah, I wish Garrett was back. I mean, it's just like the amount of dominoes that happened in Alex's perfect.
It feels like we're in some sort of alternate world where Alex picked the right team every week, and
just like
everyone else just happened to not pick the right team every week.
Somewhere there's a world in which Alex
didn't start Kittle,
and Kara tanked, and it was all back to normal, and we aren't living under this like complete
oppressive regime
that
sarcasm isn't allowed on Discord.
No, nothing's allowed. Discard dismantled what 3 months ago. He dismantled the entire Discord. Technically, we're not even supposed to be having this podcast.
I think I was risking it to be here.
You know, if only, but for those that are still out there, continue the fight. Continue to fight back. We will get through this.
We will take down Kittle.
We can take down Kittle. We can take down Alex. We can.
Someday he'll mess up. Someday he will leave points on the bench, and he will lose a game.
Yeah.
I just hope it's not against me.
Yeah. Guys, I don't know how much time the pod has left in this. I don't know how much time the signal's going out. I'm getting interruptions. Just keep fighting. Don't give up.
Draft. Trade all your draft picks.
Oh, darn it. Sorry about that, guys.
Yeah, it's weird.
Got some weird interruptions there. I really apologize for that. I don't know what was going on there.
It almost felt like some alternate reality
Yeah.
where George Kittle started in week 5 or something.
Yeah.
Everything just was going in Alex's way. I don't know. It was interesting.
I don't know why I was wearing a beanie. I never wear a beanie.
I like the
Weird.
Microsoft.
It's weird. Anyway, where were we, Chuck? We were talking about this week.
10. We're talking about week 10.
Holy moly. Week 10. What a
week. We had
week.
throwback week, which was lightly participated in.
Yeah.
This year. We may have to talk about what we want to do with our themes. This is the third year we did throwback, right? We've done it 3 times now, I think.
Yeah.
Although I enjoyed bringing back the polecats. It was hard to leave them behind at the beginning of this year.
It was a little bit. It was a little bit.
But here we are. We're now 10 weeks in. There are 4 weeks left in the regular season. Once again, this is the second time in the second half of our schedule that everybody is now even. The people that lost won and the people that won lost. There's only like 3 matchups, I think, where somebody has swept this year. I'm in the wrong year right there. I believe Todd has swept me, and Sam was swept by you, and Alex swept Jordan. Those are the only 3 sweeps we've got. Everybody else so far is split and even. Parity. Parity is the name of the game this year.
It is.
Although it maybe things are starting to split a little bit towards the top. I don't know for sure.
Starting.
It's kind of you had 2 6-3 teams against each other, so somebody was going to come out.
Oh,
a little higher there, but it's still pretty close all around as we get to this pivotal moment. I think next week is not this coming week, but the following week, I think, is the Bye-Mageddon week.
Oops.
If I remember correctly.
Sorry about this.
We don't have to worry about that this week, though.
We do not.
So let's see here. There was a little bit of waiver wire activity this morning. For the first time since October 2nd, we had multiple teams going after the same candidate with the White Latinum, Stud Puffins, Phlegmoids, and Walking through the Valley of the Shadow of Death, all wanting the Green Bay defense. And of course, the Appalachian White Latin got it, being the priority number 1. I was shocked. I was looking at that last night. I was debating between them and Houston. I was like, one of them will be great. I was like, let's go with the Packers. It's better to cheer for your own team. They seem to have a good setup here against the Bears. And then actually the AWOLs went for it, which shocked me. After several weeks of him not doing anything, not even carrying a full team, he goes and nabs one of the top prospective defenses for this week.
Yeah.
Perhaps winning last week just kind of reignited the fire in him again. Or perhaps he just saw that screaming line there and wanted to be chaos and take it away.
I do find it interesting just looking at the Green Bay defense. Like, it's literally like 6s, 5s, and then it's like, oh, they're playing Chicago. They're going to get 9 points this time.
Well, so much of defense has to do with who they're playing. I mean, they do have a 13-10. The last 3 weeks, Detroit and Houston, I don't think you would have expected huge numbers. Jacksonville should have been better. There's no guarantees, though, especially in a divisional game, I think. And, of course, the Bears just fired their offensive coordinator, so it's very possible they come in and feel a little bit more tight-knit there. But the Bears do seem to be making a number of issues on their offense. Apparently, the Bezoic Phlegmoid just woke up bright and early then.
Yeah.
I guess for them it would have been 7:30, so not that early, but right away took Houston. Now, I thought this was interesting that he shot for Houston while dropping Detroit, because Detroit also has a very good outlook on defense for this week. Houston obviously is very good too because you're going against Cooper Rush, but I don't know. It's interesting. So I'd like to get Detroit, but apparently when a team drops somebody, that person then has to go through waivers again over the next 2 days.
Well, as long as Jordan doesn't pick him up, he should be good.
Unless Jordan wants 2 defenses, and he could at this point. I debated heavily if I should even say this because I could see him just like putting in for him just to take him off the market, which would be a D move. Don't do it. I abbreviated it there because I know your penchant for family-friendly language. Oh, they're going with Trey Lance this week.
Trey Lance.
About time we see that. I find Trey Lance a very curious case. Like, I get that he got injured and then outplayed by Purdy, but then the whole league just acted as if he's some pariah, just terrible quarterback that isn't worth. Like, the Cowboys got him and made him their third string quarterback. Like, what was going on with it? I don't remember him being that bad when he started.
Yeah, but he got really badly injured, and then I think it was just like he just didn't. His coach didn't give him the confidence after that injury to like really be able to start.
No, and I mean, and obviously Purdy was doing fine, and there wasn't a need to change anything there. But I just find it interesting that the only place he apparently was able to land was as some team must have wanted him. You're telling me that the Panthers didn't want him or something? I don't know. Josh Rosen equals Trey Lance? I don't know if I'd go that far. Josh Rosen was an interesting one. One of the rare times you saw the first-round pick get replaced by next year's first-round pick.
Yeah.
I believe. He only got like 1 year with Arizona, and then he got replaced with Murray.
Yeah, that's right.
And I don't think he's even in the league now.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That is So, yeah, it looks like quite a few. Ooh, Kyle Pitts back on waiver wire.
I like that. Alex held on to him longer than I would have thought. That's very not on brand for Alex. He picked up a guy. He got him 1.5 points, and then he kept him for a whole nother week. I don't know. We talked about this a little bit last week. I'm not sure what connection's going on there.
Yeah.
But for some reason, he felt something for Pitts and wanted to keep him.
Maybe just a little pity.
Maybe. And then the White Lightning also, apparently, I've been seeing a lot about Audric Estime.
That sounds about right.
Somebody should say. Someone should clarify. I'm sure somebody knows. I've been hearing a lot about him just getting all this game time, but like, it's not like the Broncos backfield was just on fire beforehand. And he's only got a 3 and a 5, but maybe something big will happen there. I don't know. He dropped Goddard for him. So there's a couple tight ends now out and available if people are looking for that.
You just forgot to drop him. Shame.
Just forgot. Yeah, I don't believe that 1 minute. He doesn't forget to drop guys that don't do him any service.
It's true.
He's not going to hold on to someone like that. No dead weight allowed on the team that never stops changing its name. It makes it very hard. I'm just calling them the Lambs in the official records.
The Lambs?
I just generally call them the Lambs. Like,
Lambs.
You got to settle on a name some point, man. Some point. And I wasn't 100% sure how this name actually worked. Like, is he scared of the Milwaukee Muskoxen, but his faith is going to carry him through it? Because that seemed to be what that.
No, I think what he's focusing on in Psalm 23, because if you read Psalm 23, 4-6, it's even though I walk through the valley of death, I will fear no evil. But I think he's focusing on 5, which is you prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil, my cup overflows. Surely your goodness and love will follow me all the days of my life. So I think the whole preparing a table in the face of my enemies, he's.
Yeah, there's probably better scriptures you could pick about destroying an enemy if you want.
Yeah. Psalm 23, but most people know it by heart, so.
It's a good psalm. It's a top 10. It's a top 10 for sure. All right. Well, should we start talking about week 10?
Yeah, let's talk about it.
After our interruption early on here. Let's see. None of the games were particularly close. This week, nothing really came down. The only game that was really even in the air potentially on Monday was the Puffins versus the Fergals, which was still going to be a bit of a long shot, though it was possible.
Yep.
I mean, 2 of the games are completely done. Nobody was going on Monday. And then the Blue Goals had someone going, but they already had won, so it didn't matter. So it wasn't a very exciting Monday night. And honestly, it was, considering.
Oh, I like that. Versus 4 through 6, and my record is 6-4. It'd have been better if your record was 4-6, Alex.
Yeah. I guess, see, I could pick something. I could go pick some scripture that's verses 3 through 7.
Yeah. But I mean, actually, if you think about it, it works out.
It works.
Whether you decided to pick that, Alex, because you actually read it beforehand or not, it works out. It's actually pretty good.
Maybe he picked Psalm 23 because that 23 is Sam's favorite number.
Is 23 Sam's favorite number?
Yeah.
Really?
I don't know that Alex would know that. But
I don't think Alex would know that.
Who knows? All right, where do you want to start?
Well, let's do the stud puffins. Yours was
Start the stud puffins. I'm happy to talk about a win for once.
Yeah, you got to win.
Finally ended this 4-game losing streak. Very unpuffin-like to have a 4-game losing streak. However, not for lack of trying. I mean, 116 is an okay score, but gosh, Sam Darnold.
Yeah.
Getting a 6. What did he throw? 3 interceptions, I think.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh my gosh, and no touchdowns. How do you just keep throwing against Jacksonville?
Yeah.
And then Devonta Smith is like his second disappearing act in 4 weeks.
Yep.
What do you do with this guy? Because when he does anything, he's getting 15 to 20 points. So, like, you can't sit him. But gosh, again, favorable defense. Things have been good. And he doesn't even get the targets. It's like, what the hey is going on with Smith this time? I don't know. He's just becoming maddening. And Kyron Williams is in there making me nervous because the last 2 weeks he has not done well. But he's good. I guess he's been against tougher defense, but he's an 8 and a 9 is not what you expect from a first round pick there. However, Robinson gave me a big time with 28. Fairbairn gave me a nice big score there. Hubbard, I was glad I put him in. Meanwhile, the Fergals, let's see here. 45 points under projection. That's rough. It's hard to do. Tucker did not help set the tone poorly there. Even missed a PAT.
Yep.
Didn't attempt any field goals, I don't think. And just again, other than that one, nobody there was like an absolute no-show. Obviously, Daniels was much lower than he normally is.
Yeah.
But it was just, not great performances from anybody.
Nope.
Along the lines. I certainly would have expected maybe Kansas City's defense to do a little bit better against that. The bench, she did have some stuff there. Chase Brown and Pickens would have helped. It would not have given her a win.
No, but
it would have given her some more points. 74 always hurts. When you lose, you get a 74. That stings a little bit for things. So that drops them to 5-5 and down to 6th place. I think Josh is here. Maybe Commissioner can clear this up. I've tried asking him on the Discord, but it appears as though the tiebreaker really is just point value still, and that the head-to-head is strictly for in the case of an actual tie in the playoffs. Perhaps Josh will chime in and clarify that, because that does change, and I know this was very upsetting to Alex earlier today. That would change and mean that nobody has clinched yet. Because technically Todd could lose out and lose points to me as well. I don't know. Maybe points are just the only way you can do it with things. But it puts her at 5-5 and in 6th place, and her upcoming schedule does not do her any favors. She's got...
Sounds like the commissioner has left the building. He gave it his first good 20 minutes and then he leaves.
Well, he clearly wasn't excited about what was going on.
Yeah, I don't know. honestly, I don't know what was going on in the beginning. We were having some
He's
technical
not open
difficulty.
to high art.
Yeah, that's what was going on.
So the Fergals have
Alex got it. Josh, if Alex can understand what's happening, you should understand what's happening.
That doesn't answer my question.
And that's not no offense, Alex. It's just like sometimes, certain satire goes over your head sometimes.
Most satire. All I'm saying, Josh, is that it looks like the tiebreaker for seeding is still straight point value, which would be why it doesn't have anyone clinched, because technically nobody is. Although this week, then Todd and Dave would both be able to clinch by either winning or me losing. Would make that happen for those two. I mean, either they're going to make it, and it's not a big deal. But anyway, trying to get to the Fergals here. Their schedule remaining has, of the last 4 games, they have the Blue Golds, the Lambs, and the QPCs ahead, which is a pretty hefty end to the season, which I'm hoping equals her losing a lot of games.
That would I don't know. I don't know if that's possible, but
well, her remaining strength of schedule is 25 and 15. It's the only drama we have as far as playoffs happening. By dropping it to 6 teams, it did take out some of the drama. We'd have quite the drama going on if we were looking for the top 4 teams this year. It would be really, really tight. But it gets more people playing longer, meaningful games.
I love it.
All right.
Yes,
I only want after strength of schedules. I want to put that into Google Translate, see what he actually wrote.
Yeah, actually, now I'm curious. I gotta actually here. Actually, I don't have a way to. Can I copy the text? I don't have a way to copy that text yet.
I copied it. Russian to English. Kneel before the power of the red lamb.
Kneel before the power of the. I like it.
Terrific.
Perfect.
All right, what's the next game?
All right. Next game is, let's do. You know what? I kind of want to wait till the end. Let's do mine, because mine and Alex's. So it was decided early.
Okay. Oh, I forgot to mention that the Puffins did pick up the biggest blowout.
Oh, did they? Oh, you did.
Second biggest blowout of the year.
Wow.
For me. And me and Alex continue to be the only teams that have not been on the losing side of biggest blowout. So, you take the victories you can.
Congrats.
Yeah, we got 129. This is the second time that you've scored 129. If you in those 2 games would have just had a little bit better luck, you would have 7 of your 10 games scoring 130 or higher. Which is real, but it's crazy because you don't get high, you don't have any games over 140, but you would be just super consistent in the 130s.
I hit like 130, and it's like, my players is like, nah, no more.
You start pulling them back in. You put out the JV squad. You're like, you're a gentleman. You're not going to run up the score with gaudy 178 or something like that.
Yeah.
So we get you won the Murray lottery. That had to feel good.
Oh, okay, so that was a big talking point through this weekend of just me being whether or not I was going to pick up somebody else, because I know last week I had talked about how I really wasn't keen on Murray, but I just had to take what I can get.
He had a high ceiling. You could never argue that.
I'm looking at this. Well, and I'm looking. He's playing the Jets defense. The Jets have started to play a little better. I didn't think they were going to regress that badly, but they Like I was looking at the waivers, and it was Kirk Cousins was the best one, and he was like third down on the list.
And the problem with Kirk Cousins is he only has like one really good game this whole year.
Well, and that's what's crazy is I watched a game of his, and they talked about how his completion rating is like top of the league.
Well, he's doing fine in real life, but it's
He doesn't throw a lot of picks, but I'm like,
it's not translating to fantasy though.
Yeah.
And you picked a good week to avoid him. In fact, all of the potential quarterbacks were big to avoid. Darnold was not good. Stafford was not good. There's just not a lot out there.
I was looking at Stafford too.
I thought about Stafford. I'm glad I didn't go with him. I mean, I think he actually did worse than Darnold did. The Lambs. What did I write here? Lambs. Oh, yeah, for the Lambs. Lamb is now a hindrance. I do wonder whether it's Trey Lance or Cooper Rush. He's going to have a chink in the armor there with CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be surprised to see him get dropped.
Yeah, I would drop him, Alex. I mean, even if he's on the don't drop list, you can always talk to Josh about getting something done, about trying to figure out if you can drop him. I mean, I think that'd be a good idea.
That'd be the way to do it. You don't need him clogging up your things there.
Just get rid of him.
Dude. Okay, so I did bring this question up on Discord. Nobody took up the discussion. But with kickers, because I was listening to my morning drive on Monday, I was listening to Pro Football Talk, and they were talking about the problems with Jake Moody and how he missed so many field goals. And I was like, I'm pretty sure Dave did well with him this week. He missed 3 field goals, and none of them counted as negative points. So he was able to come away with 14 and a half still. Like, that doesn't feel right.
No, I mean, and 2 of them were under 50. One was
50. But the way Yahoo is set up is if you miss one even down to 40 yards, you don't lose points.
It seems wrong.
It does, because what other position is like, well, that was a bad play, but it's hard.
Yeah.
Like, nobody's like, well, he threw an interception, but that guy made a really good play on it, so he doesn't get negative points for it. You know, why do kickers, like, that's their one job. If you're a professional kicker, you're expected to go make a 50-yarder, but there's no penalty.
I always thought, I think back when in my day, it was, you didn't get penalized if it was over 40, but if it was over 50, but if it was under 50, I thought the rule
feels like a better. I feel like 40 to 50 should lose you points.
You can't change it now, Josh.
Because we make kickers so overpowered with the points per yard. It feels now, and I was a beneficiary of this too, because Fairbairn missed a kick and he did not lose points because it was like a 58-yarder. And 58-yarders, I get it. It's basically like penalizing a quarterback for missing up a Hail Mary. But if a quarterback throws a Hail Mary and it's intercepted, they're still losing 2 points.
That's true.
So it's like something it doesn't feel right there with things, because I was expecting to see some points going from there, but I don't know. Just thoughts on the kicker. Either that, or at the very least, we got to just start giving quarterbacks 6 points.
Yeah, the quarterback's throwing for 4 points. It's absolutely nonsense. It makes quarterbacks so underpowered.
50s
especially throwing quarterbacks. It basically says like, yep, if you want a quarterback, you want the dual threat quarterback. You want the Lamar. You want the
but there's only like 2 or 3
that are actually legitimate.
That'll get you points every week. You got Hurts, you got Jackson.
So
maybe Allen, he runs some. But otherwise, it was just a good old beatdown.
Yeah, McCaffrey played pretty well for this first time out.
You know, that's pretty low for McCaffrey, but
Kelsey seems like he's back in he's heating up. So,
yeah, Kelsey seems to really be in form. Barkley gave you a rare, not great performance.
Yeah, I was a little disappointed with that, especially with what a beatdown they'd had against Chicago or Dallas. See, the thing is, I was watching that game.
You're like, they're just going to run the rest of the time.
Well, every freaking time they got down to like the 20-yard line, they changed out their running backs and Saquon wasn't in anymore. And it's just like, what are you doing?
It's just crazy. A game that was 34-6, their top running back only had 14 runs.
Yeah.
That feels weird.
So it was so frustrating because they'd run, and then they'd like do their stuff, and then it'd get down into the red zone, and I'm like, all right, get Saquon in there, get a nice 20-yard. I got so lucky this week. Yeah, because I got bailed out by everybody.
He got bailed out by McCaffrey, wasn't it?
McCaffrey and Kyler.
Yeah, Murray bailed you out. I think Moody bailed you out.
I mean,
the defense bailed you out.
Yeah, I mean, I think we were pretty evenly matched. You just struggled with the fact that your kicker and defense did not do as well as my kicker and defense.
It was a bad week. Boswell put up probably his lowest score of the year. It was indeed.
Saquon had suffered an early injury to his left forearm, but he didn't miss much time and returned to start the second half. Yeah, I mean, I didn't hear about the Saquon injury, but I mean, he was in.
Henry didn't go off for gaudy numbers. Obviously, the Mooney Lamb situation was always going to be a little bit iffy there. I think my favorite stat of the week is that McCaffrey comes back and Jordan Mason touches the ball once.
Yep.
One time. Nah, get out of here. That's basically the Alex treatment. We don't need you anymore.
We don't need you.
When he got back to his locker room at the end of the game, there was just a suitcase and an airplane ticket waiting for him. Thanks a lot. You're not getting a suitcase.
That'd be upsetting.
So this allowed the quarter pounders to move to 7-3 and hold on to the top seed currently. If I remember, this is your highest record since 2020.
That's
when
good.
You went 9-5, and you could well beat that. You just got to win 3 more times, 2 more to match it. Think you got it in you?
I haven't been able to break many records this year, and every time you bring it up, all you got to do is win 1 more, man. You break the record. I'm not going to win another game.
You got to win 3 more. Sorry, 3 of the remaining 4 you have to win to break your record for that. Although I don't know that if it's your actual record. I'm trying to see here. You matched it with 9 wins in 2018. You had 9 wins in 2017. And you had, 9 is the most you've ever won. So if you win, you can win 1. You can even lose 1 more and still beat your top record. However, you are guaranteed to not have a losing season, even if you lose out.
Well, that's good.
That feels good.
That feels good after 3 years in the desert.
I don't think they'll trade Mason because the trading window is closed.
Is it official? Did the trade
deadline closed last Tuesday, I believe.
Okay.
Speaking of which, this Saturday, our trade window closes.
Oh.
Get that last minute.
And I haven't made a single trade all year, guys.
The trade master himself.
Oh, does anybody want McConkey?
He was a great pickup back there.
Yeah.
Maybe Mason. And maybe Alex is asking if Mason is a trade candidate. He wants you to trade him Mason.
Oh, you want Mason, dude? Second round pick?
How did he trade you Lamb for Mason? They're pretty much getting the same thing right now. All right, who's the next? Oh wait, no, I got to talk about this. Sorry, your remaining strength of schedule is a paltry 15-25, as you get to play both me and Jordan and Kara.
Oof.
So you've got the easiest path. Alex is an even 20-20 with his remaining strength of schedule.
It's gonna be.
Any given Sunday, man. Any given weekend, we should say for fantasy, I guess.
True.
Any given Thursday through Monday.
I'm
excited for the fact that I believe the week of the championship game is the weird one that has the Wednesday Christmas game on it.
Oh yeah.
So make sure you're ready for that one.
Yeah, it's
playing that week.
Yeah.
All right, which one's next?
Let's do the Flemoids versus the Blue Golds.
Blue Golds popping things off again with the 130s.
Yeah.
Let's see. Where's my right?
Jamar Chase. This is what every fantasy meme this week was about.
Jamar Chase, man, and it was on a Thursday night too. He got to bask in that.
But you know what? Josh made it a game, kind of, for a little
I
bit
mean,
anyway.
Let's put up good numbers, and he did fine with Taylor and Tracy, but and St. Brown, I
Yep.
guess. I mean, 111 is not terrible. 111 is probably like 40% chance of winning.
Yeah.
I was surprised with being spotted 48 points. The Blue Golds were only able to put up 130. And plus, they got 20 in their defense. They have 68 of their points in just Jamar Chase and the Philly defense, which, by the way, once again, Todd getting the right defensive pick.
Always.
Right there.
It does not fail.
Does not fail. He is the D man. But, Kincaid didn't do great. McPherson didn't do great. Wilson did not have a great game.
I'm curious when he's going to. I mean, I'm assuming he'll put Tucker Kraft in this week. But
Over Kincaid, yeah.
Over Kincaid. I can't imagine him hanging on to Kincaid. Like, he has just done nothing all year long. I mean, his highest is 11.5 points. And he did that twice and so sporadically.
Yeah, he's definitely not a must start.
Stop reminding me. Oh, yeah. I mean, sometimes you're going to play the guys. You got to play the Jamar Chases every once in a while, man.
I did look this up. Why did I write it down? I thought that's my preview. Where's my thing about? Oh, okay. This was the highest score for any individual of the whole year. Previously, it was Kamara in week 2 when he got a 43.75. This was also the 20th best individual fantasy performance of all time. And we mean all time because they've gone back to like the 60s and been like, well, what would the score have been if they had played fantasy back then? And actually, you're never going to guess this. The number 1 all-time highest scorer is Billy Cannon in 1961 when he got 68 points. He put up 5 touchdowns and had 373 total yards between rushing and receiving.
Wow.
Now, I don't know why they included this one because technically he was playing for the AFL at that time.
Does that include... Oh, wait, maybe that might have been a college game.
What, the one that was like 76-0 or something?
And they scored 10 touchdowns?
But I don't think it was the same guy doing all the scoring.
Well, you mean... Yeah, it was the 1966? I thought there was one that was like...
There was a college game that was just bonkers. There was one back in the early 1900s where they were playing like a high school team or something, and they just destroyed them, like almost literally. Another thing I discovered, though, while looking at this is the best team name I think I've ever come across for professional football, because Billy Cannon's team, and I don't remember what team he was playing on, but they were playing the Titans of New York.
Nice.
Who 2 years later rebranded as the Jets. And I'm like, dang, I don't think any team in any other sport has ever not just been like city or state mascot. No, like the Titans of New York. Like some team needs to change that. Like the Jaguars of Jacksonville. Like that should be the official name. I
like that.
Just prowling around. I like that. I like it.
So
if we just count NFL, though, the highest score is much more predictably Jerry Rice when he had a 5 touchdown game in 1990 and would have gotten 65.5.
Wow.
So overall, the Flemoids just okay. Again, nobody really like tanked it there.
No.
They just didn't have enough
oomph. I mean, is the neighbors experiment over for Josh? And maybe you can weigh in, Josh. I know you were kind of talking about it, but it just does not seem like he is getting...
Well, wait, what if Drew Lock comes out after the bye? There's rumors that Danny Dimes might be... Oh, we got Todd. Kraft is in. We have... I mean, he just barely said that in passing, but I guess we'll call that a tip.
We know for sure that Gesicki is the experiment is over.
Gesicki was about as fast as you could drop a guy other than waiting for midnight.
That was a pure point chase. Didn't work out. Drop in.
They don't work out. Now, I would say when I look at these two benches, they were very well utilized. You have 240 some points on the actual thing and only 13 and 28 on the bench. They used them well.
Neighbors will stay. I figured you don't really. I mean, would you consider Marvin Harrison Jr., man? Like
They're both going to be like, who do you
feast,
start though, between them?
feast or famine. Yeah, that's true.
Honestly, though, Neighbors hasn't really been feasting in a while. He's got an 8, 11, 10, 6, and then 2 zeros. And before that, he was feasting. But he hasn't really feasted since week 4.
Yep.
And Harrison.
It's almost like when he was injured, they kind of like figured out an offense that was.
I mean, Harrison's numbers where you got 4, 17, 1, 13. Like, maddening.
It doesn't help that the New York Giants are just a really bad team. So.
Yes, they are. So, the Blue Golds, this was their 5th game over 130, which ties them with the Lambs and the QPCs. We've got 3 teams that have topped 135 times this year, although in an alternate world where you maybe got 2 more points total, you have 7.
Mm-hmm.
We love alternate worlds here.
Yes.
The Blue Golds have a remaining strength of schedule of 18 and 22, and the Flemoids 17 and 23. So really, of all the playoff contenders, the only one with a tough schedule would be the Fergals.
Yep.
Giants offense is bad. We knew what Gesicki was. We just got to give a hard time whenever a blatant point. And, if you're going to point chase, the tight end's probably the best place to do it.
He's talking about the Giants as Millie neighbors, Gesicki's Cincinnati.
No, he said right here it was a pure find a guy to replace Bowers on a bye.
Oh, well, Gesicki is Cincinnati. But Giants offense is really bad. I'm assuming he's referencing Malik Neighbors. Although Tyrone Tracy Jr.
I kind of want to write down Josh's team this year and track it next year and see how he'd be doing if this was a dynasty league.
Yeah.
Because he's got a lot of rookies that I think over the next few years are going to be all like keeper level guys.
Possibly.
Or certainly have the potential to be. All right. So then our last game.
The game of the
close game. It turned out to be. And so this is Jordan's second win. He gets a win. Unexpected. It's his first. Let me see here. It's his first underdog win.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody now has at least one underdog win, except for the QPCs.
But have I been an underdog?
Not enough. The most underdog wins is the Bulldogs. 6 of their 7 wins, he's been an underdog.
Wow.
So he just knows how to pour it on. Because that's interesting because we know how undervalued Yahoo is of Alex's team, but he only has 3 underdog wins.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the highest favored losses would be the Puffins, who have 5 times been favored to win and gone on to lose. Because that's the kind of year it is.
Yeah.
But watching this game here and watching it happen, at first I was like, there's no way that Sam can lose, right? No way. But at the same time, like his team didn't look that good. He should not. He should have listened to the pod. We were against Deontay Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
And then he put up 1 point. Like, that's not a shock.
I thought he'd put in Debo. I was like, put in Debo. Put back Debo. But
it wouldn't have gotten the win, but he should have. Absolutely. And honestly, his other wide receiver being Shakir, like, I don't know why he keeps rolling with these 2 guys. Just because they're on his team, I know. But
yeah,
he needs to revamp. So, like, there's guys out there that are going to be better than Johnson that he could pick up and then replace Shakir with Samuel. Mm-hmm. And he could even open up a bench space by moving Olave to the injured reserve. Although I don't know if Olave is someone you have to hold on to. I'm not sure he's going to be someone grabbing him for keeper bait in the future. Purdy would have helped him a little bit, but he put up a stinker of a game with the guys he had too. Mark Andrews has really become a solid tight end though over the last 5 weeks.
Yeah.
Which it did not look like it was going to happen in the beginning. Meanwhile, the White Latinin Joe Burrow putting up 38. He is clearly angry that he was sitting behind Jackson and had to be waited for. Putting in Kraft, he becomes an underdog this week. That That's your goal. You got to become an underdog
Yeah.
to get that win. Kraft is a good call. I mean, I think Kraft has been good enough, but we'll get into that when we talk about the future. Otherwise, I mean, Jordan did have a lot of not great stuff going on. White put up a 17, Bass with the 15 for sure. But the 2 from Robinson.
Yeah.
I mean, Robinson, that was some point chasing, I guess, but we'll give him that. But he got the 107. He happened to be playing someone that he could beat. And that's why it's so hard to go the whole year with just one win. You're eventually going to play someone who also has a bad week. And no matter what you put in, you're going to get a good week-ish somewhere. Yep. So for now, Todd's record of only 2 wins is safe. It will still be holding the record, even if it ends up being a shared record after this year. But nobody has won only 2 games, I believe, since 2019.
Who is that, Sam?
No, Todd won only 2 in both.
Oh, that's right.
In 2019, he won 2. Other than that, I believe last year's 3 wins are the lowest.
Heck yeah.
So best chance to win is to be an underdog, statistically speaking. That's absolutely correct. The other statistics that go into making yourself an underdog, I'm not sure are as friendly with that. Yeah. But yeah, so with this, we have the Musk Oxen's remaining strength of schedule is also pretty tough, actually. They have a 23-17 remaining kind of gauntlet for them because they don't get me or Jordan. So they're only playing playoff teams. It's the second consecutive game under 100 points. It's just tough times for the Musks.
Yep.
So that was last week.
It was a good week.
It was a good week for me.
So you want to hear the pick'ems?
I think I did pretty well. But you went 4-0, I believe.
I went 4-0, man.
Congrats.
4-0.
The Jordan pick.
Was the Jordan pick. I'm the only one that picked Jordan.
Would Jordan have picked himself?
I assume probably not. He probably would have picked Sam. But
where are we at total wise now?
Well, that puts me at a comfortable lead, a semi-comfortable lead at 23-17. You and Josh are second, tied at 20-20. Dead even. Followed by a bunch of little piddly. Jordan is technically in fourth with 11-9. Followed by Alex's 10-6.
That's a fierce
followed by Kara's 8-8. Sam's 5-3, and Todd's 2-2.
There's a fierce battle for 4th and 6th going on, and I like that. I like the different levels.
Yeah.
What do we got left? In the regular season, there are 16 games left to pick, and then
16?
Right? 4 games over 4 weeks.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And then in the playoffs, week 1, there are 3 games. No, there's only 2 games week 1. Week 2 is also, I think there's only 2 games each week. Am I correct? No, the second week has 3 games. No, it only has 2 still, I think.
So, yeah.
No, it has 3. Second week. So I think it's 2, 3, and 2 for the playoffs.
Playoffs are 2, 3, 3, 3.
There's 4 rounds.
So it's 2. The quarterfinals are 2. It's like basically like the wild card.
Yeah.
Then you have usually 2,
1 and 6, and 2 and 3 games.
And then your bottom one, instead of 2, because there's the 3, you get the last week has that.
It's just
technically
the consolation bracket.
No, and then there's the
third place too. Yeah.
Then there's third place.
Oh, so it is 2, 3, 3. Okay, so there's 6, 7, 8. So there's 24 games left to catch up to. All right.
You got quite a bit. Of
Week 11.
Week 11.
It's getting there. It's getting there for sure. We've got a lot of diversity in the matchups here this time. There's no 5-5 versus 5-5 going on this week with things there. Looking at the standings overall, we got obviously the QPCs first, the Blue Golds are second, the Lambs in third because they're 6-4, but they are the highest in points for. And a little note on that, they are actually in line right now. They are currently averaging 131.1 per game, which would be good enough to be the third highest average score in the Yahoo era, after the 2018 Fox Point Ferrets, who got 135.9, and of course, the granddaddy of them all. You know him, you love him. 2022 Polecats with the 141.6.
Yeah,
No matter what happens to me this year, you can't take 22 away from me.
that was legitimately just an insane year. That was,
It's too bad that Alex wasn't here to witness it and be crying on the sidelines.
yeah, that's true.
While it was happening. Although he'd probably argue that wouldn't have been the results with him. So then we have a mess of 5-5 teams fighting for the 4 seed. They got the Flemoids, the Wisconsin, and the Fergals. They're not at all very particularly close in points scored. There's almost like 75 points between each. There's 90 points between the Muskox and the Fergals. And then in 7th, we have the Stud Puffins alone. And in 8th, we have the White Lightning.
Yep.
Alone. So where do you want to start this week?
Let's do, what did I have in here? Why don't we go with
Game of the week?
what's your game? The game of the week is the Stud Puffins?
No, it's not the QPCs versus the AWOLs, I'll tell you that.
Come on. Let's start with that. We'll start with that one. It's pretty
bleak.
Pretty cut and dry.
Pretty cut and dry. Are you gonna try taking a waiver on this one on Jordan again?
Jordan called me earlier this week and he's like, I am putting my best team together and I still am 30 points below you.
It's like you last year. He can't even top 100 points projected.
Yeah.
And I think he actually is trying. I think winning last week really made him want to kind of. I don't think that Robinson is his best effort for a wide receiver. I think he could find someone with a better ceiling than that.
Sure.
On the waivers, but yeah, it doesn't look close with things. So last time that these two teams met, the QPCs won 130-80, and it very well could be that score again.
Yeah,
it's almost the projected scores. This time for the buys, the AWOLs are without Singletary and White, and you are without Murray and Connor. 35-point projected spread. It's gonna be hard for the AWOLs to do anything. I mean, even if Burrow puts up a massive game, Waddle and Robinson don't inspire confidence. I mean, they're coming off the bye, but Chubb has not been inspiring confidence. If he gets a good game out of Bass and Green Bay and Burrow, and you have a lot of people struggle, maybe, but there's no way I can't pick you.
Yeah, I don't see a situation in which I lose this. Although, as soon as I say
maybe
that,
you want to
lose this.
Maybe you want to take a spin on the Murray go round during the bye week and see what happens.
He might do something.
He might. I mean, you know he's going to be playing Madden. That's got to count.
Yeah.
Towards something.
Could you imagine a league where it would be like when your quarterbacks or if a player's on bye, they could technically go to another team to play if they wanted to and play
I mean, they wouldn't because of the risk of injury.
Yeah, but what if they were getting paid a lot of money?
Like another team could just borrow their player.
Yeah.
I think then that their normal team would pay them more money to not go do it.
Do like they do in British soccer where you can loan players out to teams?
I mean, they got the practice squad.
Yeah.
For that, I guess. That'd be interesting. That'd be interesting. Maybe they would just limit it to long snappers, punters, and kickers.
Yeah.
With things, but we'll see. Maybe you'll top 130 again. Maybe you won't. That seems to be kind of just where you like to hang out. It's got McCaffrey with a 20-point projection here, which is what he has basically the whole rest of the year.
Yep.
We'll see if he bounces fully back to form with this, but you've got a good shot at getting some big points here with McCaffrey. I'm glad. Yeah. So I see you going to 8-3 and holding on to that first.
Yeah, I don't. This is probably the first matchup this year so far that I'm not too scared about.
Yeah. I mean,
Like-
honestly, you can even lose this week and still be the top seed if your dad also loses. So, well, and Alex would have to lose, but
Yeah.
all right.
All
Well, if we don't have anything else. Oh, one last mention, I guess, for Jordan. Just a little light in the dark for him. He is averaging 101 points per week, which is not great, but it's still over 100.
That's
And
over.
that's pretty good for 8th seed to be sitting at. I was looking kind of back at it, and the last time that like everybody had over 100 was 2021. And then I posted this on Discord. That was crazy because you finished 8th. You were 8th seed. You went 4-11, but your team averaged 117 points a week.
That's insane. Well, that was 2021. Wasn't that the year of Chuck?
No, 2021 was not the year of Chuck. That's the first year Jordan won the championship.
Oh,
2022 was the year of Chuck. Somehow you just hit everybody at the wrong time that year.
Man, 117
Because
points.
look at this, Josh. This was the year of Josh's absolutely ridiculous strength of schedule easiness cakewalk. He finished in the he was the 3rd seed and he was averaging 107.
Holy moly! I was averaging 10 more points a game,
and he went 9-6, and you went 4-11.
That's insane.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
So sometimes it really is nothing you can do.
That's true.
It's just what it is. So, but overall, the last 2 years, though, there's been someone averaging under 100. 2 years ago, Jordan had a 99.3 average, and last year, you set the record with a 91.9 average score. So, Jordan, just know you last year's Dave.
91. That's a record I'm probably going to hold for a very long time.
It would be hard to get that level of futility, honestly.
Yeah. And that is a no tank average year. I tried my hardest.
Now, compared with that, you then went to the postseason and averaged 142.
That is true. I was very upset about that.
Which is probably a record for the post. I don't count it as a record for the average since you only played one game, but that one game brought your entire total season average up to 95.
Ooh. So. I'm still counting it as 91.
No, for the regular season, you've got that record. Don't worry. I don't think you're losing it this year.
No.
We brought back Rich, maybe.
Maybe Rich.
All right. Which game next?
All right. Let's
do another one that looks pretty blowouty right now.
Let's do the Psalm 23s versus the Milwaukee Musk Oxen.
So last time they met, the Musk Oxen won it 120-80.
Oh, really? Yeah. Alex posted an 80?
It was his lowest score of the year, week 3. For everybody, this is a rematch of week 3. Okay. And Alex started off a little shaky before he hit on some good waiver pickups. Nobody's got any buys in this game.
Well, yeah, that's
true. Mean Mayfield and Evans, but he's not playing them anyway, so no significant buys going on here. Now, I have mentioned to Sam that he needs to get rid of Johnson, and I think he will. I also encouraged him to get rid of Shakir. I don't know if he will actually dive into waivers.
Yeah, Debo needs to be in there.
Debo should replace Johnson for sure. Now, that still would not make this a particularly close game. It would improve him by 6.
Yeah.
His team's just in a bad place. Hall has not been doing well.
No.
I think Mark Andrews is underestimated there. Baltimore against Pittsburgh, we'll see. His game kind of relies on getting some luck from his kicker and defense and having Josh Allen go off. If that happens and Alex has another bad week, he can be a winner. But it's going to be tough sledding. It's going to be tough sledding. You got. When I look at things here, most things point to Alex. And I wouldn't be shocked to see him put up some sort of gaudy 160 this week, just because then he can talk about it.
Yep.
So I picked the Psalms, the Lambs.
Yep, me too. I mean, could we be in a situation where Lamb doesn't do anything? Nico either
Now,
is on a snap count or whatever, but
or they're
still,
doing so well that they don't want to risk him aggravating it.
Derrick Henry.
Still, he's got Kittle, who's going to get at 15 at least. Most weeks, Boswell is good for 15. Jackson
You've
could
got
go off.
between Henry, Mixon, Kittle. That's 45 points conservatively.
Yeah.
Jackson, at least 20 points. So you're almost, I would say 25 at minimum. So you're at 70 points. I mean,
Yeah, it's going to be very
that
tough.
means Lambs, Collins, Pollard, Boswell, and Miami just have to like even get close to like, you know, 8 points a person, and you're still in the 110s. And I don't think Sam's team is
It's going to be tough for him to do it. He's going to need Alex to significantly undershoot here.
Yep.
Which is not likely to happen 2 weeks in a row, I don't think, for him. Now, I want both outcomes. I want the Musk Oxen to beat the Lambs because I want the Lambs to lose because they annoy me. But I also want the Musk Oxen to lose because that if I win, that gives me a better opportunity to have these 5-5 teams lose. So it's, I'll be okay with either result for this game. But I think it's going to be Alex. I pick him.
Yeah. It's pretty straightforward.
Yep.
All right.
Well, the other two are closer.
Let's do the Fergles versus the Blue Golds.
All righty. So last time these two teams met, we had. No, I put them on the next page. That's right. The Blue Golds won 136-68. It was quite the blowout.
Mm-hmm.
The only bye going on here is the Fergles are without McBride.
Yep.
And right now they have McBride in, so that's why their projections are low. I assume they're just going to slot Ferguson in, even though he's playing with a Trey Lance. That's not going to bother her one bit, I don't think.
Yeah, sometimes those, you never know.
The tight end then a lot or something.
Yeah, you check down the tight ends a lot.
It could. I would not probably go out and dig for another tight end that's on the waivers for that. So she'll put that, and that'll move her projection up to 107. However, it's strange to see the Blue Golds sub 100 when they have so many games over 130 with essentially the same players. That's unusual. Mahomes is probably close to what he'll get there. Garrett Wilson is really kind of a wild card anymore. I just feel like Chase. I feel like Hill and Chase are that's not right. I don't think there should only be 3. There's going to be more than 3 points between them differently. Yeah. Hill has not been great, and Chase has been very good. 13.9 feels really low.
Yeah.
For Chase. I mean, maybe he puts up a bad number. The other one I think is kind of under here is Cup versus Adams. I don't think there's only going to be a 1 point difference there. And I think it's going to be Cup getting more. Than Adams. So I feel like the projection skews a little too much towards the Fergles when I look at this. So I am going to pick the Blue Golds, but I don't think they're going to get a 130 this week. This very well could be the closest game of the week. I think it could be like a 120 to 118 sort of thing. So I'm assuming you're going to pick the Fergles.
Gotta go opposite just for the.
This one's a bit of a coin flip, honestly.
Just to be a little bit more.
I just feel like the Blue Golds have been more consistent than the Fergles.
I agree.
But I wouldn't argue you on it. And I want the Fergles to lose.
I know you do.
Very badly.
Yes.
I want her to lose out.
I mean, technically, at this point, though, Chuck, I mean, you really need either Sam, Josh, or Kara to lose.
I need all three of them to keep losing, and I need to keep winning. Now I can take care of Josh this week, hopefully, but I need them all to keep losing to keep my options the highest. If they all lose and I win, I'm only one game out. 3 weeks left. That would feel good. We'll see. But that's in my head. I think the positive things with that. Just you got a little bit more insight into the Fergals. If they were to lose out and get out of the playoffs, is it done? Are they done with fantasy?
No.
They keep fighting.
It'll keep fighting. Really, she has this dream, this vision that thanks for trusting stats, Chuck.
I'm here to represent.
She has this vision of winning it all. Dave is dead to me.
I love it. And it's unusual because in almost any other situation of life, Dave is going to be much more the stat guy and I'm going to be much more the gut guy. But with fantasy football.
Hey, I was on a roll, trusting my gut last week. It worked.
My
gut was
right. She had a dream.
She has a dream of winning it all, coming on the pod for her one and only time, accepting the trophy,
and retiring. Well, it might not be the one time because obviously we're going to bring on both championship contenders. So if she were ever to get there and lose, we would need her to be on also.
Yeah.
The week before. But you gotta have both of them on. So, but we'll see. I was worried last week when I was getting to that Monday night game. I knew we each had 2 left. And I was like, it's entirely possible that Hill and Achan put up 50 points combined.
It's true.
She was behind by 38, so that's why I posted that my thought was as soon as I hit 13 points, I'd feel safe with things. And it took longer than I wanted it to get to that. All right. So the last
Dave, now you know how it feels to be me. I've been dead to him since I was born. Maybe I should see a gastroenterologist.
Because you're going with your gut.
Good one, Pops.
I've been dead to him. So is Jordan the only favored son?
Well, Josh is the middle child, so he's just been forgotten about his entire life.
That's true.
So
that's true. The baby gets it.
Yeah.
I love, the pod is always better when Todd's here.
It is.
All right, so I don't know. You could maybe call that one the game of the week just because it feels pretty close, but
I don't know. But this one has the most implications.
That's true. So we'll call the Puffins and the Phlegmoids.
Although 7-3, 5-5, there's still implications there. But this is like if you beat Josh, you are one step closer to.
If I beat Josh, it becomes not just a pipe dream, but a potential reality. So this is big for me. Currently, I am not projected to win, but my goal is to get a few more points in the projections for my defense, which would still have me losing on the projections. But I'm rolling with Justin Herberts this week because I continue to try to stream my quarterback. So he will undoubtedly put up a 7. I look at this guy, he's like, okay, like his floor is basically 15, which honestly is an improvement over most of my quarterbacking. I added it up. My quarterback average score is only 15 for this whole year. And that's exaggerated by a 31 I got out of Murray. So you take that out of there, my average quarterback score is only 13 something.
Yeah.
It has not been a good year. I've not been able to stream. No matter what, I look at him like, this guy's been doing pretty well. He's got a good defense. Nope, he's going to put up a pooper. So, we'll see. Herbert's been doing pretty well. The thought is that he's going against Cincinnati, whose defense is pretty soft, and their offense is very good, which should force him to throw a lot instead of just having someone run the ball like they would want to do. So, we'll see. That's my goal. That's my thought. But Jalen Hurts is probably going to put up a lot of points. The only hope there is that it's a divisional game so that he maybe gets held a little bit. I don't know what to do with Devonta Smith. Do I swap out for Hopkins now?
Hopkins.
He's got a good projection for Buffalo for some reason.
Yeah, that's odd.
But I didn't think he would do well against the Broncos. But, when I look at the Smith versus St. Brown, I give it to St. Brown. But Nakua versus Metcalf, I would give to Nakua, I think. Taylor and Robinson is pretty close. I think Williams and Walker is pretty close. I'm switching to Hawkinson here. My Cade Otton run is over because he's on bye. I think that Hawkinson's here. He's got a bit of a tough matchup against Tennessee, but he's got Bowers, who's basically been the best tight end this whole year with things. So I think that could be pretty even with the tight ends. We're hoping Montgomery. Here's the thing: I have streamed against Jacksonville before, and it has not worked out. But
yeah,
here we go again. Supposedly they'll do well. I think that's pretty much tied. I think the kickers are pretty much tied. And hopefully our defenses end up being tied. So I think this is really a close game. And because of that, I'm going to pick myself to get to 4 and drop the Flemoids down to 5 and 6.
See, this is a tough one.
Oh, I forgot to mention in week 3 when we played each other, the Flemoids won 127 to 114. It was a closer game.
It's a tough one.
Now the Flemoids have the ability to throw out a 130 or 128 or something. They've done it a number of times.
I feel like Kyron Williams is going to have a big game eventually, and I think New England's a good team to do it against. I mean, Bijan, man, this is the Bijan Robinson revenge tour right here because he's playing against his old team, the Bezoik Flemoids, who left him to the dust. Last year.
He's been doing much better. He started the year pretty shaky, but he's been very consistently strong for the last.
I assume Puka's going to do a lot more this week.
The thing with Puka is that he has not gotten a touchdown yet since coming back, but he has put up 106 yards and 98 yards.
As long as he doesn't get thrown out for punching a guy or something like that, he should be able to score. And it's going to be close. Whatever this is, you guys, what's the Monday? He has Houston's defense on Monday.
I have my kicker on Monday.
It's going to come down to defense versus kicker.
Good.
Oof.
Very well could.
That may be nerve-wracking.
We have a lot of Sunday nights. I've got my defense Sunday night and my quarterback Sunday night, and he's got
Kenneth Walker versus San Francisco's defense could.
Well, here's one thing that could benefit me. He's got both Metcalf and Walker against a decent team.
Yep.
So hopefully they get held.
Yeah. Amon-Ra probably put up 15. That's a guarantee. Jalen Hurts, I do not see him putting up 30 points again.
But I don't see him 20 probably either.
No.
Have they played each other yet?
Washington?
No, they haven't played yet this year.
But he has been on a string of really bad defenses. So this is our first true test.
10th, 7th, 5th, 3rd, and 4th, and then 16th. In fact, this whole year, he's only played 2 teams in the bottom half, and that was when he played Green Bay and put up 18, and when he played New Orleans and put up 12. So he actually has not done well against better defenses.
Other than Tampa Bay, he did
Tampa Bay was the first. Oh yeah, he did poor against them. Yeah.
Now I don't know what they were.
His whole season is just.
He's got a very easy.
Even
looking up,
it's not good for Josh. Jalen Hurts' toughest opponent coming up is in Week 15, which would be Week 1 of the playoffs.
That'd be tough.
If he gets held down because of Pittsburgh in his first round of the playoffs, that could be. So who you picking?
You know what? I don't know.
He's not going to pick him.
We're gonna do a little coin flip.
We're going to do an actual coin flip.
Yeah, I got a bottle cap actually.
Just
So
you know, you got to do 100 of them and then take which one wins.
actually, this isn't.
Yeah, bottle cap is not a good coin to flip.
No, it's not. I don't have any coins. Let's see. All right, I'm gonna flip this memory card. Memory card heads, blank side tails.
Well,
Let's
which one
do
is
it.
which?
I'm gonna pick. Josh is heads. Chuck is tails. Heads. I guess I'm going with Josh. The
All
fates have chosen me to pick Josh. So
All right. We know Josh is going to pick Josh.
yes. If you fail me again, Josh, every time I've picked Josh, he's lost. So
I like that then. I like the odds of you picking Josh.
sorry, Josh.
We'll see. I'll be sweating a bit this weekend because this one starts with some Thursdays. If I keep Smith, then I get Smith on Thursday, and he gets, we'll know Jalen Hurts on Thursday. If Jalen Hurts starts on Thursday and puts up a big old 25 or something, I'll be sweating. If he puts up a nice low number, I'll be feeling pretty good.
Color
I
needs
got to figure out my wide receiver thing a little bit still.
Yeah.
And that's week 11.
That is week 11.
Big seeding implications going on, of course. We do have some clinching scenarios. Should you and your dad both win, you're going to be locked in.
Yep.
And or if I lose, you both will be locked in. Alex needs to win and have me lose, I believe, would lock him in. If I'm doing my math correctly here. Because then he would move to 4 games ahead with 3 games left. So, yeah. But if he wins and I win, I could still technically beat him. But I've got a bit of a thing here because I've got Josh this week and then I get you next week. So I've got
the Chuck and Dave matchup next week.
Chuck and Dave matchup is the following week. So I've got a bit of a gauntlet. And then I have Alex in the final week. So I do have a gauntlet coming up. Although I'll tell you what, this is good news. Week 14, the Ravens are on their bye. You will not have Jackson.
Ooh.
Or Henry.
That's a good feel right there.
So I'm looking forward to that matchup. I think I can win that one.
Mm-hmm.
I have Jordan as well. I think I can win that one. And if I can just win one against either you or Josh, I could get in the playoffs. So that's the command central right now. Of course, my math is correct. Look at this. He wants me as his son.
It's true.
Well, I guess I'll be seeing you at Christmas then this year, Dave.
Yeah. All right, that's all we got.
Week 11. I think the only thing left to do is take a peek at what Yahoo thinks.
That's right. We always see what the current projection.
Ooh, Yahoo has me tying Sam in record and losing out by a mere, gosh, what is it? 16 points.
16 points. Wow.
Oh, that will be if that.
Always wanted 3 sons. Ew.
Well, that could be a diss on any of you, except for Jordan.
Yeah, probably not.
Wow, that would be something if I lose out on points by just a few. Oh gosh, that'd be terrible. Although I like that it's given me a chance to get to 5.
Yeah,
I like that. It has you winning it all, 11-3. It has Alex finishing 3rd still.
It does not like Alex.
It definitely does not.
I think what hurts.
Odd 7th in the power ranking. It's probably because he put Kraft in.
I think what hurts for Alex is the fact that he is going to. They're assuming he's going to lose one just because the buys because Lamar will be out.
Yeah, well, it has him losing 2 more.
The power rankings has him at 2 overall. Josh at 3, Kara at 4, you at 6, the Blue Golds at 7.
Yeah. Does not like them to end this year.
Holy moly.
Wow, Kara is ranked 4th in points scored for the rest of the year. That's something. Look at has Sam beating me out by 2 points. We shall see. All right. Well, that's week 11. Good luck to everyone except Josh.
Yep. Be careful walking home. Don't fall through an alternate reality in which Alex becomes the supreme overlord of everything.
And as always, never bench Kittle.
Never bench Kittle. Praise be Kittle.
Praise be.
See ya, folks.
See ya.